DNS or domain name system is essentially the phone book of your network. It translates IP addresses to domain names and eliminates the needs for us to memorize IP addresses.
In order for our IP addresses and our domain names to be congruous with each other, they need to be first connected using something called lookup zones. And within these lookup zones, specifically the reverse lookup zone, we need something called a pointer. We'll begin here in command prompt where we're going to perform an NS lookup or a forward lookup of our Windows 10 user that we already have in our domain. And we're going to do it using the script that is displayed on the bottom of the screen. Just type that in as it shows up, and what it should return is a DNS request timed out, because as it stands right now there is no reverse lookup pointer for our Windows 10 user. And if we go here and reverse look up the exact IP, you can see it does work, it just doesn't associate it with the domain name. So what we're going to do is go into the server manager and then go into the DNS manager, and we're going to go look up the reverse lookup zones. Right click and then go on new pointer, because here we're going to actually create the pointer which points towards our Windows 10 user that we want to NS lookup. So we're going to go into our domain, scroll down, and there is our user, host A Windows 10. So it is a host, but there is no pointer pointing towards it that allows us to actually perform the lookup. So we're going to click OK, and now the pointer has been created and it goes to the exact IP of our Windows 10 user. Back to command prompt, we're going to now type in this command, register DNS, ipconfig register DNS, which will actually allow our DNS records to be lookupable now that they've actually been using a pointer. So we're going to perform the same command as lookup except with the IP, and now it works, unlike last time. This is because now that there's a pointer, it knows what to find.
DNS zones contain all the DNS records of a network. These records are simply mappings from a host or domain name to an IP address. There are two types of DNS zones: the forward DNS lookup zone and the reverse DNS lookup zone. The forward DNS lookup zone resolves a domain name to an IP address, while the reverse DNS lookup zone resolves an IP address to a domain name. So first we want to do a forward lookup of our server. The command for this is nslookup. Then you type your domain name. As you could see here, when you press enter, it resolves the IP address of the server. In this case, it's 192.168.100.20. Now we're going to do a reverse lookup of that IP address. So as you can see here, it says DNS request timeout. That means on an administrative level, we cannot resolve IP addresses to domain names. So we'll have to change this. In your server machine, you go on Tools and then you open up DNS. As you can see here, you have the forward lookup zones and the reverse lookup zones. The forward lookup zone is currently highlighted, and there you could see card.fanclub.local. This zone was created automatically when we configured the DNS server. As you can see here, we have the server and we also have a Windows 10 client machine. Now I'm going to show you how to create a new forward lookup zone. To do this, you right click and click on new zone and the wizard will open up. Click next. You want to create a primary zone, you click next after. Click next again. And then you enter your zone name. We're going to name this Card Fan Club 1.local. You click next again, and then you finish. You see here that the new lookup zone was created, but for the purpose of this video, we'll be using the one that was automatically created.
Okay, so moving on now, we're gonna go ahead and create our reverse lookup zone. So we're gonna click reverse lookup zone folder and then right click and click new zone. And it's gonna lead you to the wizard. You're gonna click next. And we're leaving it as a primary zone. Click next. And we're doing the middle option, so all servers running on this domain. We're going with the IPv4 and we're going to put in our network ID, which is the IPv4 IP address, the first 3 sections of your server's IP address. And click next, click next again, and it's basically finished with the setup. You're going to click finish with the wizard. Make sure everything is correct first, and you'd see that it's created a lookup zone. So we're gonna go into command prompt right now, and you're gonna type ipconfig space / registered ns. It's gonna show you that the registration of the DNS resource records for all adapters of this computer has been initiated. And if you click refresh and then go into the zone that you just created, you see that it has automatically created the start of authority, names, server, and your pointer. So over on the client side now, you can do an NS lookup with the IP address, and you'd see the server's name and address. Thanks for watching. That's it.